The New York Times poll out this morning has low marks for President Obama's handling of the ISIS threat. 51% of Americans disapprove of the president's response to the terror group. 40% approve.
Meanwhile, Turkey is under new pressure to take on ISIS before the Syrian border town of Kobani is lost. Riot police clashed with Kurdish protesters overnight in demonstrations across Turkey. Our Clarissa Ward recently went undercover into Syria and spoke with a Dutch native who is now fighting against Syria's government.
I always said I came here for Syria and for Syria only. But now that America's bombing my brothers and my sisters and killing my woman and my children, who am I not to fight back?
So will you fight back?
Of course I'll fight back.
How?
Let them send their ground troops then, and we'll see how.
Clarissa joins us now from London. Clarissa, good morning.
Good morning.
An extraordinary story. Tell me about this guy and what makes an American do this. Is it romance? Is it religion? Is it what?
I think it's a combination of many different factors. The American who we spoke to is a Somali American from the Midwest. He left the U.S. about 3 years ago to go and study in the Middle East. And he said that while he was there, he would see these Syrian refugees every day outside the mosque who were begging. And when he began to talk to them and hear their stories, he was very moved by what was happening in Syria and the crackdown on the Syrian people. And he said that's what motivated him. The Dutch guy also said that he was motivated by the YouTube videos, this endless stream of gruesome images coming of that crackdown, that I think many Muslims felt that they needed to do something to try to defend their fellow Muslims. But of course, the longer they spend in these war zones, the more battle-hardened they become, the more extreme they become. And you see that in some of the rhetoric that we heard from both of these young men.
And he seems very agitated, Clarissa, during the interview. When it's over, do you all just shake hands? What is he like with you after? Is he still upset? And is he ever upset with you?
Well, we definitely do not shake hands, Gail. These are very, very strict Muslims, so there was no shaking of hands at all. But I would say that Yilmaz has always been friendly and polite to me in person. He does make a distinction between the actions of governments and individuals. He would say that he has no hatred for the American people. His hatred is really for the American government.
Mm-hmm. Clarissa, since you've been inside Syria and covered this so closely, what's going on now with these ISIS fighters on the border in the town of Kobani? The U.S. government very upset with the Turkish government for not doing anything, essentially, to take on these rebels that are right on the border. What do you think happens next?
Well, that's really the million-dollar question. I mean, the Turkish president himself said that, you know, that there's clearly a need for more of a ground offensive, not necessarily from the U.S.-led coalition, but at the very least from the moderate U.S.-backed rebels on the ground in Syria. But when we interviewed the head of the main group that the U.S. actually sponsors, he told us that there was no coordination between the U.S. and these rebel groups. That obviously makes it very difficult for them to try to capitalize on some of the momentum that these airstrikes could create.
All right. Clarissa, thank you so much. Great reporting.